Hello everyone, I'm Anshika Agarwal working as an intern in LEXIS and Company. Today I will tell you about price quote. So what are price quote? The enemy properties seized in the sea in violation of rules of blockade or contraband are called prices. But it should be noted that here that simply by seizing such properties or ship as prize, the belligerent states does not acquire the ownership over them. In order to acquire ownership over such goods or ships, the general principle is that such goods or ships are produced before the courts, which are called as price quotes. These quotes determine the validity of the seizure of the goods or ships. They determine whether the goods or ships have been validly seized or not. If they decide the goods or ships have been seized, then the belligerent state which seized it acquires the ownership. Such goods are called lawful prices. Once the price court decides that the goods or ships have been validly seized, the matter in regard to these goods or ships ceases to be the matter of international law and becomes a matter of state law. So what is the nature of price quotes? Price quotes are national quotes. They acquire validity from state law. They are not international quote. It was laid down in the famous case of the Zamora in 1916 that the British price quotes are in fact national tribunals. They acquire validity from national orders and notifications. Thus, we see that the price courts are the national courts and but they decide the case in accordance with the rules and principles of international law. In this way, they are different from national courts. So what is the jurisdiction of price courts? The price courts derive its jurisdiction from the belligerent states which establish them. The belligerent state establishes these courts because it is necessary for them to get the validity of the goods or ships seized by them certified or verified by such courts. Since price courts are national courts, the state law and notifications are binding upon them. So what is the law applied by price courts? The price courts are national courts, but they decide cases submitted before them in accordance with the principles and rules of international law. But since they are established by the state law and derive jurisdiction from national orders and notifications, in fact, they apply the state law, or the utmost that can be said is that they apply international law as followed and applied in the particular state. In the leading case of the Zamora, it was laid down that the price courts are bound by the acts and statutes of the parliament, but they are not bound by such orders of king in council as are contrary to the provisions or rules of international law, or the effect of which is to modify the international law. Thus, in short, it may be said that price courts decide cases in accordance with the international law. But in case of provisions of international law are inconsistent with the provisions of law laid down in the parliament, then they apply the law laid down by the parliament. What is ransom of price? It is necessary to produce the price before a price court. But international law does not forfeit the ransoming of the captured vessel. This may be done either directly after the capture or after the vessel has been conducted to port but before adjudication. The practice of accepting and paying ransom grew up on the 16th century. This practice has now been prohibited by municipal law of many countries. What is loss of price? The state which seizes a prize acquires ownership over the prize only after the validity of its seizure is accepted by the price court. But under certain circumstances, a prize may be lost. As pointed by Oppenheim, a prize is lost under following conditions. They are: number 1, when she escapes through being rescued by her own crew. Second, when the captor intentionally abducts her. And third one is when she is recaptured. It may be further be noted that When a captured vessel is intentionally abandoned by her captor and afterwards its possession is taken by a neutral vessel or by her home state, the question whether the original ownership revives through abandonment is a matter to be determined by municipal law. So, is the case with recapture of the vessel. So, this was all about price quotes. In case of any doubt, do write in the comment section. Bye bye. Stay safe.